Good afternoon once again. This is Francis Mahan, your host from A Journey into the Mind. I'd like to continue my program with the following idea or thoughts of the mind. 20th century founder of the science of the mind, Ernest Holmes, say that our life is like a mirror, that what we project on the outside reflects back to us. Which takes me to why do we think the way we do, like my book say on the first chapter. What is it in our mind that makes us think the way we do? Is it our subconscious mind? Is it the old habits, the old ignorance? Is it the education and beliefs that we use as perception of reality from our peers, our friends, and our families, and even our teachers? I will say all of the above. You see, the brain has an innate capacity to generate information through the energy of the pathways of the neurons. Billions of neurons are interconnecting and communicating with one another. But how is it that these thoughts that we have, whether they are repetition from subconscious mind or present thoughts in moments of silence and meditation, how do they generate through the brain, the mind, and the cells in our body? Science is trying to debate whether it is possible that the thoughts that we have are connected to an energy source that is invisible, yet it is known by many scientists because many experiments have been done with photons and electrons and particles that communicate at a distance, regardless of whether these twins particles are altered or not. They have come to the conclusion that the results are always the same. Which takes me to one great idea I had recently. If it is a fact that our thoughts have energy, and that energy is conveyed into how we think, where is that energy coming from? Is it originating from the photons in our body with the outside environment? Perhaps. If that reaction with the photons and particles cannot be deviated with the end results, neither can our ability to think and project and receive back what we think. In other words, our thoughts are influenced by the photons, because it is a fact that no one can determine in precise definition what is consciousness. When we are thinking, we are conscious. Therefore, that which exists outside the mind connects with the conscious level of our way of thinking. Because you see, consciousness and the mind and thoughts are not in the mind, but they are from outside the mind. They originate from something outside of us. Of course, many will debate the fact that once we have programmed our brain and our mind and our subconscious mind to think in a certain way, then those thoughts are pre-programmed. That's why we call them engrams. That's why we call them paradigms, beliefs, perceptions, which is not even reality. Because the reality is that there is a force in the universe that influences everything around us. Everything. Nothing is left behind. Everything is influenced by that force. So with that, I can say that it is possible for us consciously to engineer our dreams, our destiny, our purpose, and our future. You know how? If our thoughts enhance with the energy outside the environment, the photons, or whatever invisible energy there is out there, and reflect back to us, that thought which we already have to program our future, our destiny, our purpose, and our goals is coming back, is returning to us with similar, if not greater energy than the one we put out. Because by virtue of the fact that those thoughts went into the environment, into the universe, and reconnected with the energy force, they already enhance the possibility, their energy, their force, and return to us with more power, more frequency, and more motion. Because you see, in frequency there is also motion. And I know that scientists debate that it's nearly impossible to come to a conclusion when it comes to quantum mechanics and quantum information, which is where the photons play a role, particles of electric. The energy of the universe. Because everything in the universe is energy. Planets travel with energy. The sun produces energy. Our body motion produces energy. Our cells produce energy. The billions of neurons in our brain produce energy. Everything is energy. This is why I love the idea of dark energy, the mystery in me. Because it is something that we cannot fathom to be possible. That our bodies, that we consider to be only a biological component of whom we are, is also a source, a frequency, an emotion of energy, kinetic energy. My kinetic energy is emotion today. I have determined to keep it in motion. So the neural pathway, which controls every frequency and energy conductor of the brain, has the capacity to communicate outside the mind and convey information, convey communication. And this is how that saying about spooky reaction at a distance by Einstein comes into place, where two different particles communicate with each other regardless of the distance. At the precise time when one does something, the other one feels it. I love the idea. It is so mind-boggling and so intriguing. Just the mystery to know that we have the capacity in our mind to connect with someone at a distance, and maybe even someone that we don't know. Because you see, in the photon experiment, they are split into two twins, two different sections. And we as human beings are not split into two, yet we have that beautiful capacity to mentally communicate at a distance with somebody else. How beautiful is that? I love it. My kinetic energy is emotion today. It is emotion today. So the quantum entanglement, which is what I'm referring to, that connects one with the other. One thought, one information, one photon reaction to the other photon. And so do we as human beings in our way of thinking. Why? Because of the frequency and magnetic field of the neural pathway in our brain. Because we have such an eloquent component of our biological composition, which is the brain and the neuron cells, to communicate with other neurons at a distance. That in itself is a miracle. How is it that the creator of us could have thought of something so magnificent? That creator had to have been conscious in order to understand the whole biology and component of physics, science, biology, and the mystery of an energy that we don't even know the precise nature as of today, which is dark energy, or perhaps energy that exists at a level that we all encompass regardless of whom we are. We enjoy it, we intertwine, we entangle, we connect, we communicate, yet we don't know precisely what it is. All we know is that we as human beings have the capacity to connect at a distance, to communicate, and to send information and receive with simply the cells, the neuron, and the magnetic field of our body energy, our kinetic energy, our body and mind in motion. Thanks once again for listening. This is Francis once again on the topic of thinking, energy, the body, our capacity to communicate at a distance, the mystery of the mind, and also the mystery of the force that exists within the universe and us in our capacity to communicate with others. With a name we have yet to recognize, but we have named it dark energy. Have a wonderful day. It's been a pleasure as usual. Goodbye.